All right, ready to go? Ready? Okay. So we talked about, I said the word already, what did we learn about Michael or whoever was here, the few of you, what did we talk about?
Persuasion.
Persuasion, okay, what does persuasion mean? Leo?
When like you can tell someone like if you want to trade something, you persuade them to give you something else.
Okay, so if you want to trade fidget spinners or something, you can persuade them why they should take yours over the other one. Okay, we talked about advertising and how there's different ways to advertise, right? So we're going to review those quickly, and I did a PowerPoint last time, but just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to put them up here. So, because you guys are going to do a little group work a little bit later. Okay, first you make your claim, okay? When you make your claim, it's the argument that you are trying to persuade. So, does anybody remember the examples, some of the examples we used from last week? Remember you guys wrote a little short paragraph? What were you trying to persuade the class? Remember? You won. What were you trying to persuade Mr. Strike with? Nice and loud.
To get a reward.
To get a reward, and you were trying to persuade us why you should get the reward. Okay, so that's your claim. Okay? Then, these are the different ways, and I brought an example from the internet today for each one of them. We talked about advertising can be on the billboard, can be in the newspaper, can be really anywhere, in a store, in a grocery store, in a furniture store, at a car dealership. So the first way to persuade someone, let's put these over here, is, because you're going to need these later, is using big names. Let's see, I don't know if that was here that gave us a good example. Using big names. Sometimes, do you guys know the cereal Wheaties? It's, when I was younger, they'd always put, like, if the Minnesota Twins won the World Series, the Wheaties would come out with one of the pro baseball players' faces on the Wheaties. So that's using a big name. You can see it in the grocery stores, and it's an advertising strategy to try and get you to buy Wheaties. Okay? Does anybody remember the other examples we gave for this? Anybody? Who was listening? You had one.
Yeah.
What was it, Victor?
State Farm.
Yep, State Farm. Okay, so that's an insurance, and that one we'll use a little bit later. So here's my example, and I could walk around. I was hoping to have them on the smart board, but here's an example of using big names. It's for McDonald's, and it says the official sponsor of the Super Bowl. Okay, and I don't know, but maybe some of you know who that football player is behind him. You know him? So this is kind of a way to advertise. I'm going to go kind of quickly. Anybody know him?
Nope.
Maybe he isn't. I don't know. Is it? Okay. To advertise McDonald's. It's like the pro players eat at McDonald's. You should too. Okay. Think of other examples. Somebody had a Mountain Dew one example of a certain. What was it, Michael? Do you remember the certain football player, I think it was, that was advertising for Mountain Dew? Remember? You know who that is? Who was it? Okay, so this is, you guys are gonna come up with in a little bit an example for each one of these. So the next one starts with an L. Does anybody remember? Leo? That's okay. Say it louder.
Logos.
Logos? Okay. What was this example? How do we use this advertising strategy?
Like a McDonald's logo.
That could be one, but there's a specific thing that pertains to logos. Using, remember Michael?
Billboards.
Numbers.
Numbers, okay? So they're trying to advertise through data and numbers. And the examples were a Snickers bar and trying to persuade you that it is not healthy. Okay? So that's another way. This is really small, but this is, Victor, one of your examples I found. I was thinking you when I did this past weekend. Progressive. It's very small, but they're actually showing the money saved by those numbers if you go with Progressive car insurance. Okay? Not very exciting, but I just wanted everybody to have an example for each one. Okay? Carolina, are you with us? Okay, weird. Okay. All right, so that's using logos, facts, numbers, and then, I know you can maybe see it, the next one was, I'm gonna show you the animal. Someone tell us what this type of strategy used. We talked about it. You remember, Kimberly or Catalina? Emotions, very good. The example we used was, just like in here, sometimes you'll see on TV that they'll have an animal that's injured, or they're trying to get you to adopt an animal. They're playing with your emotions, okay? So that's that one. And I have an example of that one as well. What do you think this advertisement is? This is the pathos, using your emotions. After you, what do you think that's advertising for? I think it's a seal, isn't it? Kind of being crunched in the clock.
How much time do you have left to extinct?
Say it nice and loud. I think that was exactly it.
How much time do you have left until they're extinct?
Yep, how much time they have left before this animal is extinct, sorry. Okay? So that they're advertising to save animals, okay? The next one was ethos. Does anybody remember or even know how that one was, that advertising strategy, how did they use that one? You remember?
Trust.
Trust? Ramsey, did you say that? Thank you. So it's kind of like you're trusting someone, and I think actually Cassandra and Kimberly, they were chosen last time I did this lesson because they presented to the class and won a reward because Mr. Strike had said, I actually chose them, he was the judge, because they were believable. They were confident in the way they came up, or they presented to the group. So someone is more believable if they're confident in the way they present things. Do you guys believe that? Yes? No? Yes? Okay.
Kind of.
Here is an example of this one. And this one actually uses a few examples in one. It's not only ethos, but it's, yep. So using a big name. A big name could be a person or a product. But this one is using, it says right on here, drink it to believe it. Okay, and that's an actor. It's a famous actor, William Levy. So it uses kind of a few different strategies, doesn't it?
Isn't that a logo?
Yes, it also uses a logo, the 60%, real taste, 60% less sugar. So I see actually almost all of them so far in this one. The big name, the actor, logos, pathos, and ethos. Okay? Any others? Can you guys think of any other ones, examples for this? Who likes Pepsi? Raise your hand. How about, let's do Pepsi over Coke. Who likes Coke? Okay, I want to see your hands. We're doing Pepsi and Coke versus Coke. Coke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Coke is 8. Fast here. And Pepsi. Raise your hand nice and high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So in this class, yeah, Coke. Did you see this one? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So this is an example of ethos. Next one is heroes, and that one is who remembers. Somebody that was here or not here. What was that advertising strategy? This one had a little symbol in the corner of the paper. about the furniture store. Victor?
Oh, like advertisements or something?
Yep. What is an example if you're using Carol's? Yep. How? This picture is a clue. Yes. You got a deal, so we got a half price sticker. So if you go, or a buy one, get one. You go into a gas station and it's buy one Gatorade, get one free. That's another strategy. Okay? Then